Day 4 of being the only person awake on Earth. This is Kazuki Arai, night shift clerk, secret administrator of reality, crouched over a fresh monster kill in the frozen rain. One small problem, he didn't kill it.
Query result. Registered players currently active, 1. You.
One clean cut, no shards, no footprints. The world's emptiest crime scene, and the only suspect on Earth had an alibi.
Somebody had just beaten the only player in the world to the kill. Somebody the system swore did not exist. Tonight, he follows the footprints.
Previously on Player Zero, the world froze. Kazuki woke up alone, and a golden ledger made him reality's only strategy guide. Then, the system flagged an anomaly. Unregistered. Awake. Player Zero, Episode 2, Footprints. The night the tutorial stopped being single player.
Rewind to Day 2. Same Konbini, same shift, same frozen hour at 3:33. Except now, Kazuki Arai clocked into the apocalypse the way other people clock into overtime, with a checklist.
He had turned the store counter into a war room. Spawn maps taped over the lottery ads, routes in red marker, energy bars sorted by expiry date. Management would have objected, but management was frozen until 4:33.
Current balance, 1,040 points.
Every kill paid points, every point had a job, potions, patches, information. He budgeted the end of the world with a discipline he had never once applied to his rent.
His stat points went the unsexy way again. Agility to stay alive, intelligence to make the ledger smarter. Night by night, the golden panels grew sharper. More columns, more secrets, fewer blind spots.
Skill synergy detected. Appraisal linked to Administrator's Ledger.
Then came the discovery of the week. The cheap utility skill from Night 1 started feeding the ledger live data, and suddenly he could read a monster's drop table before the fight.
Drop rates, spawn timers, weak points, visible from across the street. He stopped hunting monsters and started running errands that happened to involve a sword. The ledger called it optimization. He called it Tuesday.
Night 2, the arcade district. 3 pups, 1 ambush, 0 surprises. He had read their spawn table an hour in advance. The claw machines watched. Nobody else did.
Night 3, a frozen pedestrian bridge above the expressway. He fought between motionless commuters and was polite enough not to knock over a single umbrella.
Level up, level up, level up. Current level, 11.
Level 8 to 11 in 3 nights. Efficient, repeatable, almost boring, which in a death game is the highest compliment there is.
Class selection available. Options: Striker, Sentinel, Caster, Ranger. Choice is permanent.
A big one. The panel had been glowing since level 10, his first class, permanent, no refunds.
He didn't touch it. 10,000 hours of gaming had carved one law into his soul. Never pick a class before reading the hidden notes. The shop window is not your friend. The shop window has a quota.
Hidden entry. Class, Administrator. Requirements, unknown.
And there it was, a 5th option no other player on Earth would ever see. Grayed out. Locked. Patient.
He filed it under later, right next to the ominous key, the 4 million yen debt, and everything else that couldn't kill him before sunrise. Day 4, one last nest on the clear list, which brings us back to the crime scene.
The nest on his list was already gone, not cleared, erased. Shadow residue still curled off the walls, which meant the fight had ended minutes before he arrived. Minutes. Day 4, frozen rain. A kill that wasn't his. You've seen this part already. Now watch what the ledger saw. No crystal shards, none. Whoever did this hadn't just won. They had harvested, clean and fast, and left nothing behind for the house.
Kill credit logged. Player unregistered.
The ledger, ever the accountant, filed a receipt for the impossible.
Clarification. Registered players on Earth, 1. Probability of error, 0.
The system was certain nobody else existed. Kazuki had stopped trusting the system's certainty somewhere around the level 12 fair tutorial.
Then he saw them. Footprints, not in the ground, in the rain. A trail of clean gaps punched through the hanging droplets, person-shaped holes in the weather where somebody had walked through the frozen hour. Somebody who moved through suspended time the way he did. Somebody who hunted the same monsters on the same map, on the same schedule. Somebody the system couldn't see. He followed.
The trail passed a vending machine, one drink missing and coins stacked neatly in the tray of a machine that wouldn't wake up for 20 more minutes. An invisible, untraceable, monster-slaughtering ghost who paid. Tokyo manners die hard.
Wound analysis. Single-edged weapon. 1 strike. No energy signature.
His kills burned, cauterized by cyan light. This was a slice. One motion, no follow-up, no wasted heat. Steel, not light.
The trail led deeper into Kobukicho. Neon canyons, frozen crowds caught mid-laugh, 1,000 motionless faces watching nobody walk past.
Halfway down a side street, he found the battlefield. 6 shadow spawn, 6 cuts, no second swings anywhere. Whatever happened here, it had been over before it started.
Combat reconstruction. Estimated engagement duration 3.8 seconds.
6 monsters in under 4 seconds. His personal best on 6 was 4 minutes and a near-death experience.
Whatever was walking ahead of him wasn't another lost beginner fumbling through a tutorial. It was a finished product, and he was tracking it through the dark with a beginner's blade.
Then, movement. A silhouette on a rooftop, black coat cut against the moon, silver hair catching the glow of the suspended rain, watching him. He blinked. The rooftop was empty. No footsteps, no new gaps in the rain. As far as the world was concerned, he had imagined it. The world was lying. Kazuki did what gamers do when a rare encounter refuses to spawn twice. He stopped chasing and set bait. 30 minutes left in the frozen hour and exactly 1 nest remaining on tonight's route.
Watch flag placed. Target, Nest 7. Alert radius, active.
1 ledger watch flag on the last nest of the night. If anything so much as breathed on it, he would know in real time. Whatever real time meant anymore.
He circled ahead and arrived first, killed the glow on his blade, and folded himself behind a frozen delivery truck. The world's only stakeout unit, on the world's quietest street.
The nest pulsed in the dark ahead, veins of shadow breathing slow. Untouched, he waited. The rain hung. Nothing moved anywhere on Earth. His heartbeat disagreed.
Then, between one held breath and the next, the nest went out. No flash, no roar, no fight he could see. Extinguished, like someone pinching out a candle.
One sound crossed the silence. From inside the nest, 50 meters of darkness away. A single, clean cut.
Alert. Watch flag triggered. Nest 7. Eliminated.
He broke cover and sprinted. 12 seconds, blade lit, heart hammering against his ribs. The nest chamber was already empty. Of course it was empty.
But the wall wasn't. Scorched into the concrete, smoke still rising inside the frozen hour. 4 words, carved by something hot enough to burn through stop time.
Stop clearing the nests. He reached out. The scorch was warm. In a world where time itself stood still, somebody had left him a message that was still cooling.
Foreign directive detected. Origin, unknown. Recommendation, ignore.
The system wanted him to ignore it, which was exactly why he couldn't.
Global awakening in 26 days.
26 days until 7 billion players log in. Somewhere out there was somebody stronger, faster, and invisible to the system, and they had just asked him, politely, to stop.
Next time on Player 0, he sets a trap for a ghost, and the ghost introduces herself. Subscribe, because the anomaly is closer than the system thinks.